Gratcast.
Ta-da! I'm back. Apparently last week it did not go well, not having me on as a sidekick. He needs someone to balance out the desk, everyone.
Well, if you're going to make noises, you might as well be on screen.
Oh, I'm sorry. I coughed off
in the middle
screen.
of an important monologue that was supposed to be reused.
All right, everybody, go back to last week at the beginning.
Let's not come off fire in here. Let's discuss our background this week is a culmination of April showers, as you can see the raindrops, that did in fact bring
Mayflowers. Yeah, baby.
This is from our little oasis in the backyard.
A cherry blossom tree. First time it's bloomed. Beautiful.
We do have a sad note off the top. We got to pay our respects to John Singleton. He passed away over the weekend. I don't talk a lot about my influences as a creator in that, mainly because I feel I kind of take pride in the fact that my influences come subconsciously, dear. I take a little something from everything, and it all kind of ends up in the melting pot, and I don't really consciously take from anything.
Okay.
That's how I pride myself on my influences.
So, since he's passed, you've gone over the list of the movies that he's made.
Well,
and how many of them have influenced you? Now that you actually think about it.
There's a ton of stuff he's made, but Boys in the Hood is probably one of them first handful of movies that I really remember as a kid and connecting with as a like I like this movie, like on a storyteller sense. Higher Learning,
another one to cry.
Poetic Justice. So Snowfall, it's been on the list forever, dear. But he's one of the executive producers of Snowfall. He's directed a few episodes, written some episodes. I think we owe it to ourselves as a tribute to John Singleton tonight to give Snowfall a chance. Are you with me?
No, you have to tell me about the show.
Oh, Snowfall, it's an FX show. That's all you need to know. FX makes great shows.
Alright, here's my... Okay, he wants to start a new show. I have a rule when it comes to the cable shows. If you have sex within the first half of your first show...
Well, Game of Thrones is out.
No, if that's what you need in order to get your audience...
Game of Thrones is out.
You don't get me. That's too much of a requirement on the actress instead of the actual... plot.
If you remember
the story, because it is never necessary.
Oh, you got to take Emily's Corner off the screen.
Oh, wait. Yeah. We were very ready for Emily's Corner. Sorry, everyone.
If you remember way back to when we had Romello on the show. Yeah. Oh, Greg's watching. Sweet.
Higher Learning is intense.
If you go all the way back to when we had Romello on the show, we talked a little bit about Snowfall, and he raved about it. This is one of the best shows out there right now. Amazing show. Gotta watch it. I think now's the time, dear, as a tribute to John Singleton.
Anybody out there watching Snowfall right now?
I'm sure Greg...
anyone else who backs it up who's watching?
I guarantee you Greg's watching Snowfall.
Oh, now you're guaranteeing for Greg. Wow, Greg.
I can vouch for Greg.
Does it feel like you're playing poker at a table with him now?
Well, I always know what Greg has at the poker table.
Greg will go down if I re-raise after he raises.
You can stall as much as you want, but we're going to talk about the next topic because it did in fact happen this week. Andrea had a birthday. Yep. She's 1 year older. How old are you now, dear?
I'm 1 year more than I was a couple days ago.
Are we finally going to cross 25 this year? That happen?
We will cross 25. I will even allow us to cross over the 27 mark.
Holy cow.
Now.
Holy cow.
How about that? We'll stick with 28. That's a nice solid age. I think that's an age that covers a lot. Because who the hell knows what they are at 28? Except not happy with what you are currently.
What kind of exciting birthday stuff did you do this weekend?
What did we do this weekend? I went to Magic Mountain, Six Flags Magic Mountain with Sam, my friend Sam.
For like an hour.
Dude, okay. So we got done working Friday, and then we...
Oh, see, Greg, can't wait for Snowfall to start back up. I told you Greg's watching Snowfall.
Really, Greg?
Yeah, because it's a great show. Greg watches great TV.
Okay.
You can't blame him for that.
All right, I will give it a shot. But did they have sex within the first half of the pilot episode? Like, is it here's some boobs and here's a whole lot of flesh? If you require your actors to do that in order for you to get your audience, you don't have a good enough show to begin with.
Let's remember and pay tribute to how FX got on the TV map. Nip tuck, dear. Extremism.
So
you know what you're getting when you watch an FX show.
Is FX owned by the same people who own Fox?
FX is Fox.
Then why is it FX and not Fox? Why
because Fox is already Fox. It's Fox's cable channel.
Huh.
Oh, Greg's hitting us with a no.
No sex. All right.
Oh, it's either no to the sex or no to the Fox. Moving on, Andrea, you were telling us.
Stop trying to mess with me.
Oh.
You're messing with my head now.
Actually, it does. They gotta hook you right in early, man. Everybody knows that.
They hook a certain kind of audience in early, which says what kind of show it's gonna be.
It's FX, dear. That's what they're known for.
Yeah.
FX does drama. It's probably not their slogan, but they're going with it for now.
Man.
Anyway, birthday weekend.
Birthday weekend, went to Magic Mountain with Sam.
Rode 2 rides.
Rode 3 rides. Rode the X2, and we were at the very end of it, so that's one that it lays you on your back, and then you can flip around up and back, and while it does its roller coaster thing, so we were at the very end, which means that when it flipped us, we didn't have to see other people's shoes. We actually got to see the entire horizon at night while all the lights are going up. Yeah, it was beautiful. And then we went and we did...
Did you do the VR one?
What?
The VR headset roller coaster?
No.
Oh.
No. There was one we tried to go to right away that was right when you walk in, a big one. And they said, sorry guys, we're already closed. And we're like, it's 7:45. Whatever, dude. You're open for another hour 15. Come on! I know. And we went on 2 more rides, but the last one we went on is Crazania, which is like the galleon that goes like this, except it had a circle that everyone sat in, and it spun you around, and it went like this. And then it would go like that, but it wouldn't go all the way around.
Breaking news, it's Dylan Hunt's birthday.
Happy birthday, Dylan!
Happy birthday, Dylan. Thanks for tuning in.
Happy birthday, yeah!
Dylan, are you watching Snowfall?
Welcome, my fellow Taurus. How are you doing? Did you get everything you wanted? Yeah? Awesome.
Dylan's probably watching Snowfall, too. Everybody watches Snowfall, dear. Everybody but us.
Apparently it's not on yet, though.
It is
yet. The season is not back.
Well, the season's not back, but we're like 2-3 seasons behind now, so we've got plenty of room to catch up.
To binge.
All right.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Move it.
So, any highlights from your birthday? Any parting words of wisdom that you've gained with an extra year of experience?
I'm very grateful for the friends that I have. Sam took me to Magic Mountain. Our friend Julie brought me pizza and strawberry cheesecake on my birthday. That was
Julie.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Because we wound up working on my birthday, so that was awesome. Oh, you don't have any presents, or you didn't get everything you wanted? Oh, he's not watching. Yeah, thank you, Siobhan. I appreciate that.
Hey,
and
listen,
I appreciate Dylan.
Here's something we need to start getting better with on the Gratcast show. Whichever platform you guys are watching from right now, go ahead and give a like, a little subscribe to the show. We need to start pushing that, dear.
I'm gonna guess most people already are.
Well,
like that's how they know it's on right now.
For the ones that don't,
because tonight's a special day.
As the millennials say, smash that subscribe button. You gotta smash it.
Man, you sound old when you
say
it
Go ahead and drop the elbow on the subscribe button.
Oh, I'll push you under the bus.
The Bills drafted this week. And Ant's throwing around gift cards and lottery tickets.
Heck yeah. Are they scratchers? Those are the most fun. I win on those. Bingo ones.
We do not encourage senseless gambling here.
It's not
if you don't have any, if you can't put any brain power into the outcome of the gambling, it is not encouraged by Gratcast.
As if anything like poker where you have no control of the cards themselves.
But you have some sort of input into the outcome. Scratch-offs, whether you won or lost, is already decided before you got the card into your hand.
I love the lotto ticket idea. That's awesome.
No, it's random luck. Gratcast only endorses gambling where you have an ability to control the outcome.
Or we give it to charities, like at the upcoming event. Somewhat considered gambling.
I like your effort at a segue, dear, but you're like 6 items out of line on which you segue to. So moving forward, the NFL draft just happened this weekend. I think the Bills are stacking something special here. This is a great example of a topic where we could have had a little back and forth here. We had our old co-hosts in the saddle, but instead, Andrea, you're gonna have to talk a little football here with me, unless somebody gives me a give and take in the comments section. Andrea, what'd you think about the Bills draft this week?
I heard it on the 7:10 a.m. station. I heard Kris making noises. I was driving, so I wasn't paying that much attention, more to the downtown LA traffic. So I think people sounded happy, is what I believe. as opposed to what I've heard in the past is, why'd they get that guy? That's not the position we need. I didn't hear that very much on the radio for the past couple days. Is that correct? Did they get someone they want?
The Bills draft class is being universally praised from coast to coast.
Good night, Dylan.
So it does look like we've added some more good pieces to the puzzle. And I think it's just continuing to point in the direction of good things ahead for the Bills. I think this year is going to be a fun year, and I think after this year, the expectations are going to be high for the foreseeable future.
Are you expecting them to start off with a bang, like they did in the last couple seasons, and then kind of?
Well, no, they haven't started out with a bang in a while, dear. I expect them to start out.
Gettleman.
That's the Giants GM.
What did he do? What happened to him?
He's all over the place. He's reaching. He's competing.
He's grabbing people.
He's competing with the Raiders to see who can make the most head scratching decisions in a short period of time. Is really what the man's doing here. But without a deep dive into the logistics of that, we're just going to leave it to Greg's LMAO as far as an explanation of what that guy's doing.
Back and forth, man. He's back and forthing you.
Well,
I don't understand what's going on. Tell me the forth and back.
He's not getting good draft value, dear. Remember we used to play the Madden League and we'd have our draft every year? These guys are playing high-stakes Madden League, and the man's not getting good draft value. Is really what it comes down to.
Is he trading picks?
He's trading away his best players. He's then making reaches with the picks that he got for trading away those best players. And he's trying to get back to even, is what's going on. Greg's right, off-team topic. We're going to move forward. A little bit later, Emily's Corner will be joining us. As you saw, we've got a little graphic, little spray paint graffiti there for Emily's Corner. And we're going to be talking Avengers Endgame. We've all seen it. It's going to be a spoiler-free conversation about Endgame. And
I'd love to see how this is going to work.
How
does one discuss it without...
What else is happening in Emily's Corner?
Oh, we're going to be talking about the Comic-Con that she went to for RDR2. Yes, the game that everyone was so into. And then what happened?
We moved on to the next game.
Oh, there is no next game, though.
You are a huge nerd.
That's what we do.
I'm not a huge nerd.
We freak out over a game for a little bit of time, then we move on to the next one. Been rocking the shit out of some Conan Exiles this month. You want to talk about a hokey, hacky game where it's all sort of full of bugs. Oh, that game drives me nuts. Can't wait till the next game comes out. Get me off that. Then the final general topic of the week is Andrea and I both went undercover this week on pilot. What would you call those, dear? Test audiences. Mm-hmm. We were test audiences for new shows coming on TV soon, maybe.
Next year, possibly.
If it's going off my test audience, it ain't coming on TV anytime soon.
You know, we'll talk about that. We'll talk a little bit about that.
We're going to talk about that right now.
Oh, we're talking about that right now?
We're going to talk about that right now.
That's what we're closing with.
So here's how I'm thinking. We're
okay.
closing the general mission topics. This is the general topics. So this is our final general topic of the start of the show. So how I propose we talk about this is we simultaneously stay in gear with how each of our shows went and share each point. So we simultaneously give the side-by-side comparison of each of our experiences with these test groups.
All right. How about you begin?
Okay, I'll begin. Mine was on the Warner Brothers lot, and I showed up, walked through the gate. Oh, they built, since I worked in the Warner Brothers lot, they built this huge tower on there, and it's completely different. But I walked in. Lady sent me into the cattle call area, which was most of it was outside. They had
nice, Emily.
You know what? They had the holding center tents that the extras used to go to.
Yeah.
They got them set up outside in like a courtyard area.
Mm-hmm.
Then they go and give you a sheet and a form and tell you to go sit down and fill out the form. I'll stop there.
All right. Well, mine is at a building that's not on a lot. Apparently, a lot of independent companies go to this establishment, and it's over in Valley Village. Very nice little place. It's got its own private parking lot. Go in there and show your ID. They make sure you are who you say you are. Gave me a little questionnaire to go fill out. And
don't want random opinions from random people that aren't who they say they are.
Well, exactly.
Exactly.
You want an opinion from a certain kind of person, because prior to this, to even be selected, you had to tell someone all the following shows you did or did not watch, and how often you watch them, and if you like them, and certain stations. So they were very specific on what they wanted.
But you had to answer the question correctly, and if you didn't, a person on the other phone who gets paid off of how many people they get to these shows will coax you in the right direction to answering the questions.
So when you get there, at the actual testing location, the questionnaire they give you is pretty much a repeat of what you had to say that you did or didn't watch before, but you have to remember that if you lied, you better remember your lie. Because as someone had it, quite a few people had it in ours, once you give it back, they go and they do whatever check stuff, and then they come back out and they give you a little number, or they call your name and they have your questionnaire with you, and they embarrass you in front of the entire group, which is about 40 people at those, like, kind of high school desks.
That's all it was yours? That's all it was there was 40? Wow.
It might have been closer to 60. We had 2 theaters worth.
Well, we were well over 100. At least probably closer to 150. I think it was 50 in a room. We had 3 theaters worth.
Well, congratulations on yours. I didn't know we were competing.
What are yours? 6x6? Ours are 8x8. No big deal.
Whatever. That's fine.
Was the form they gave you to fill out, was it a Scantron form?
I don't even know what that means.
Bubbles? Did you have to fill out the bubbles?
Well, I mean, there were bubbles, but all I had to do was X. Like, you made a mark in it. You didn't literally have to do it like it was the Iowa Test of Basic Skills with your number 2 pencil.
Not over at the WB here.
What is the WB?
It's been a while since I've been in the... Been a while since I've been in the Scantron game. So they hit me with this... Back in my day, when we used to do Scantrons, it was a thin form that had ABCD on there and had all the numbers down there, and you scanned it, and it had the little guide bars on the side, so you stick it through the machine, gives you the readouts, right? All the answers are on the Scantron. They give you the test stapled together on the pages. So they give us 4 pages stapled together that have all the questions on there, and then they have multiple choice bubbles. And so, sure, I was in a little bit of a tired state, let's say, when I went there, so I wasn't putting a lot of brain power into giving these guys feedback on their shitty little pilot. So I just form it out. The instructions say...
Shitty little pilot.
Circle the answers.
Nose in the
I should say the instructions look like they say circle the answers. And I saw circle and answers. That was enough for me. So I go through, fill in the blanks where it wanted words, and where it was circles, I circled my answers. Got up, went and turned back in. Now,
did you circle around the whole answer or around like the ABCD?
So it was like A and a circle, B and a circle. So I circled the A and the circle.
At least you didn't circle the whole answer itself with all the words after it.
So and again, flashing back to old Gratcast here, this is also my nightmare, because now we're in a crowded space where there's not a lot of open seating, and once you've found a place to sit down, I don't want a lot of up and down shit. I don't want to be stepping over people, inconveniencing people, having a freaking look around and stand there in front of everybody and re-find open spaces. This is my nightmare.
That's why you need a purse.
So I go and turn...
Saves your seat.
I go and turn my answers in.
Yes.
And for the second time now, I have to go find a seat in a large crowd. And I've got this little section scouted out in the back of the holding tent that's got open rows for now. And I go back and sit down there. And I'm watching the draft on my phone, just hanging out. All of a sudden I hear, Kris Albert! This guy's wandering through the 150 people calling out my name, and I can't get out of the row fast enough for him to stop shouting my name across everybody. Like, stop saying my name, dude, I'm coming. So finally get there, he's like, hey, get your form here. And now in the row of people all sitting...
He totally needs a satchel.
There's people all sitting on chairs that are all set up along the walkway there on each side, and we're standing in between all of them. That he's like, I need you to fill in the bubbles. It's a Scantron form, not circle them. And I'm like, well, first of all, I've never seen a Scantron that's actually in the page of the questions. I didn't know we've advanced that far in our Scantron technology. It's been a while. So now he goes and sits me back down. I have to go sit back in my seat, and now go through all my answers again and fill in the bubbles for the Scantron form. 4 pages of Scantron bubbles, blah, 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 blah. Go back, sit it down, and put it in the basket, and go back. Now my seat's taken. I've got to find a different seat. I'm now sitting in the front of the holding center room. I don't like being in front. I got a bunch of people I don't know behind me. I'm getting all sorts of anxieties here.
It definitely sounds like you are. So was yours guys and girls?
Yeah, guys and girls. Okay. So now I'm sitting there again. I'm settling again. All of a sudden, Kris Albert.
You are a bad test taker.
So he comes out, and he's like, and he's got another one in his hand, a blank one. So I need you to erase all the circles around the circles, or would it be just easier for you to fill out another one again? So he gives me another one. I gotta go sit back down, fill out the whole damn form all over again. I'm the asshole at the party. Everyone, this guy can't figure out the Scantron. So now they're ready to start calling everybody in, and I'm still last man standing, filling out my form. I don't have a number or card or anything. So what happens here? I'm the last guy to get through the process and get stuffed into the guy theater. There's 3 theaters, female theater, guy theater, co-ed theater. I get stuck in a guy theater, but I'm the last freaking dude to enter into the guy theater, and they have just enough seats for every single guy in the guy theater. So front row, first I gotta scan everybody again. My nightmare. Where's the empty seat? Where's the empty seat? I'm just a guy wandering here. So then I find it. It's not in the front row, because you know it's going to be in the front. Nobody wants to be in the front. It's not in the front row where you can walk right around and sit right into it. It's got to be in the middle of the second row. So I got to climb over a bunch of other assholes and big dudes all boxed into the seats. And, a room full of guys all in movie theater seats. Everybody needs the 2 elbows.
Including you. I've sat next to you on an airplane. You take mine when I'm the middle person. Yeah. I'm in between 2 dudes, and you all take them, and I'm literally there with none.
So now I'm already freaked out, Matt. My stupid, the wheel thing you're supposed to turn, it's over the back of the chair and down the side, so now I got to get up and stand around over everybody. Ask these guys, can you hand me my thing?
And you're in the all-dude room?
Yes, I'm in the all-dude room.
You know what that means? That it was a dude who did that last. He's a jerk-off who decided, screw everyone else. I'm not doing the one thing they asked, to put it right there so it's nice for the next person.
Okay, so how did your transition from filling out the form to getting into the theater go for you?
Easy peasy. Filled out the form, handed it in. A couple minutes later, they called my name, gave me my number, said, hey, if you wanted to use the bathroom, we're going to have like 20 minutes or so. So go ahead and go do that. We're waiting on like half the people to show up, so I went and used the bathroom, got some water, went and sat down, got my little bag that you put your phone in, so you can't just turn it off and have it in your purse. You actually have to put it inside like the secure bag that then
we'd have to do that. Ours was in our pocket. No secure bags.
Oh, no, we had secure bags. They have this needle that's like about from here to here that literally goes into another end that you need at the Marshalls or TJ Maxx, that little thing that takes the security thing off. You need one of those machines to be able to unlock this. So you couldn't even decide halfway in, I don't want to watch this, I'm done, and just leave because you can't get your phone open. Can't get out of that thing.
Nope, no bags for us. Don't take the phone out until you get your check, or you don't get your check, was basically the deal.
Yeah. Saw a couple people get in trouble for, hey, looks like you said in your pre-interview that you watch some shows, but you don't on here.
I don't care about that.
Do you want to take another look at your form and see if there's anything different you want to put on there? And their answer is always, what, would you know what specifically I did? And they're like, I cannot tell you that. But something on here is not what it was, and if it isn't changed, you get to go home without being paid. Yeah.
So Hank, this dude that sounds just like Hank Azaria gets up in the front of our room and explains, because they give you this little meter that's hooked up to the seat, and basically the more you're supposed to twist it with your mood as you watch the show. The more scene you dislike it, the more you turn it to the left. The more you like a scene, the more you turn it to the right. And then they've got like a red button on there that the guy is like, so if you're watching the show at home, you push the red button when you change the channel or turn the TV off. And guy explains the whole thing, all of that. Lights go out, watch it. Literally, the first opening shot is a cheesy piece of money flipping through the air, and you can hear the clicks of the button through the room. It was like click. So pretty much after that, everybody mainlines this 40-minute show or whatever all the way to the left of just terrible. It's absolutely horrible. It's the type of show they knew they were getting a demographic for that wasn't for the show when they collected the demographic of all these dudes. It's not for these guys. And no surprise there, dear. They got the exact results they thought they were going to get going in. Nobody liked the show. So we didn't get kept around for the post wrap up. But we did have a sweet long line while we were all waiting in line for our check, where everyone was talking the show and tearing apart the terrible logic in the show on how it just didn't add up. It didn't make any sense.
Did you get picked for the group after watching the show?
Oh, no, they didn't pick anybody from our room. They didn't want to talk to any of us afterwards. Yeah.
So
we all just dogged in the hallway.
You were probably the ones they should have spoken to because you had the most comments for them to build off of.
Listen.
And criticisms and critiques, because that is kind of what they're looking for is, how can we improve this? Before we actually have to take it to network and be told that they're not going to give us any more money to make the other 3 or 4 episodes of this pilot mini-series season we want. What can we do to fix it first?
Yeah, here's the problem with this show, and this is what they didn't want to hear from any of us, and I would have been the first one to tell them. You can save the $10,000 or whatever amount you spent running this whole little test audience. I'll be the person that you didn't have in the room already. This show sucks. This idea sucks. This is terrible. It's full of cliches. It's cookie cutter. If it was made 10 years ago, it would be outdated. This is stupid. Stop wasting money on it. You can come up with something better than this. You can get 5 professionals. You can throw a rock and find 5 professionals that can come up with something better than this. It was a vanity project 10 times over. And even still, it was a vanity project about a household name everyone's heard of, but nobody really cares about or has ever followed. The worst part about it is this person has lived an extremely unique life and is one of the bunch of like
they didn't get a test audience of that demographic.
No, the storylines were cheesy stereotypes and generic cliches. And the irony of it is the main character and who they are and the vanity project that was formed around them, their entire life is probably full of unique experiences that are interesting, out of the ordinary for everybody else, crazy stories that anyone, regardless of what your background is, would be interested in hearing or seeing those stories. So it was just appalling that they made a pilot vanity project around this person and couldn't take from anything in their life to actually come up with some unique ideas and elements to this story. It was offensive on many levels.
Offensive?
Yes.
How long did it take?
It was probably about a 40-minute pilot.
So, what? It was like a half hour waiting to get in there, 40 minutes, and then you guys got to leave.
Yeah.
And you were offended that they paid you to watch something.
I'm offended that they spent a bunch of money to make that show as somebody that is given life and limb for the opportunity to make something and have some true passion and care in the final product. Yeah, as a creator, I'm mortally offended, which is probably exactly why you have to go undercover to these things, and they don't want creators in there, because they know that somebody that knows what the hell they're talking about is going to tell them what they don't want to hear. Your show sucks!
Well, that, and they also think it might be twinged with jealousy.
No, this is...
a little bit of hater.
Listen,
for someone...
I'm not going in there rooting for you to fail, I promise you that!
Nice.
So, what about your show? What did you watch? I think you got the lucky one that was actually somewhat...
I got like a kind of procedural crime / drama. Not quite an NCIS, but not quite an elementary. Kind of right in between there. It was okay. I mean, I liked the sub-characters. The lead actor, he was cast because he was good looking. And he can't deliver a line for the life of him. Like, it is so dead.
Pull him over. Bad actor surviving on looks.
But, you know, I was part of the group afterwards.
Greg didn't like being a forced test audience for Letterkenny.
Yeah, that one was... It was about that dry. That would definitely be a similar way of saying it for that actor, yes. So I got chosen for the test group because I apparently liked everything but the main actor.
She got chosen for the test group because I was on the other side of town, got out an hour early on my test screening, and was waiting for a ride home. So that's why she got picked for the post wrap up.
But you know, I swayed some people over into thinking he wasn't that good of an actor, after all.
Oh, great! You ruined that guy's life.
Whatever, dude. He better bring it on the next episode.
So who's bringing the hammer now? See, this is, again, why they don't want creators in the room. They don't want real, actual, intellectual feedback.
It was comparing him to the other actors in the scenes with him. That was all. It was obvious to everyone. And I just said, if any other actor's in it, he doesn't seem like the lead actor. Because he's
homeboy
not
Bill's
as
sticking out like
a
sore thumb. You gotta get rid of him.
And people agreed. So it was good. I enjoyed it. It was fun. I like watching new shows before they come out. That's always fun.
All right, dear.
Yes, dear. So are we going to talk about the other entertainment industry thing now that's going on?
No,
I want to talk about that now.
You're segueing past everything, man. You're like a bad time travel that's going too far ahead. You're missing your destination. So we got a couple things to pimp out here first before we get into other stuff. This is the last week for ticket sales on the event, dear. There's only a handful.
Let's explain to everyone what we're doing here.
Of general admission and VIP tickets remaining.
Okay. So there's this event we're doing.
Go get into it. Lean into it.
On May 10th in Buffalo, technically North Tonawanda, at the Wurlitzer Events Building, where there's also the Platters Chocolate Place. So, if anything, I mean, stop on by to get some damn chocolate. So, the event is not for us. It's raising benefits and funds for young audiences of Western New York. We, as Gratwick, have found them and love what they're all about. That's pretty much it, is we are going to be expanding, opening up services, looking into more artists in the Buffalo area that we can help. Because, as Kris has pointed out before, when you live in Buffalo, you don't always know about the opportunities that are there in Buffalo. Kind of like YA-WNY. It's been around since, like, what, 67?
They've been around since the 60s, yeah.
Yeah, and you didn't know about them. You lived in the damn town,
I didn't know about anything
and you didn't know about it. So...
Are you stepping on the next subject topic? We're talking about the event and the ticket prices here.
Into.
Well, you can't segue into that because last week you coughed through my monologue, and now this week you're trying to steal my monologue.
So, I'm giving the groundwork to what is happening right now. Here's the dealios. The building itself, we have to give them the menu order, which means they need to know how many people are going to be coming. Kind of like a wedding.
TMI, dude.
Kind of the reality of an event.
Tickets
that
will be
if anyone would
week.
like to have appetizers and special drinks, that comes with the VIP only. We need to know by Thursday how many VIP people are coming, because we can't tell anymore, because there's a limit. There's a limit. So what I'm saying is, go to XLACCEL events, EVENTS,
self-destruct sequence activated.
/ a night to inspire, and get your VIP tickets now, because next week when we're in Buffalo, I really don't want to deal with the headache of people saying that they were going to, but
it's been a while.
We have to.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you forced me to call it an airstrike here, dear. It's been a while.
Get your VIP tickets.
Too much information. Tickets are this week is the last week. Tickets will be available.
There you go.
There's promo codes floating around, like
where are they floating?
Like Gratwick. There's a sweet image that the person running the board should have up on screen here for the event. That looks pretty cool.
Ta-da!
Cassandra made it for us.
That is the front of the Wurlitzer building.
And the event will be live streamed right here on all these channels that you're watching Gratcast on right now. So again,
how about I show you again? At the bottom,
gonna drop the elbow out here.
I win.
Smash that subscribe button so you'll be notified when the Night to Inspire event goes live. If you'd like to attend the event and join us, we'd love to have you.
Come out. May
10th, tickets available at Accel Events or go to the event page on Facebook. Moving on, we're going to talk about YA-WNY. Now, next week is going to be an all-event-related episode, and we'll get more into YA-WNY and the benefit and how you can donate to YA-WNY if you're not going to make the event and all of those wonderful things. But what I want to talk about right now is why I chose YA-WNY. Now, they don't have a whole bunch of buzz or attention in Western New York. And in fact, it might surprise a lot of people, but Young Audiences of Western New York, which is what YA-WNY stands for, is a chapter of a national charity organization called Young Audiences. I've never heard of them either. So, obviously, when you're trying to partner with a charity, you're looking to cross-promote, you're looking to draw attention to each other's efforts and causes and things like that. So, it would have been much more beneficial for us to pick somebody like Roswell. I don't know, something everybody knows, everybody can get behind, charity organization, stop cancer, everyone wants to kill the diseases. But for me, I wanted something that like I had a personal connection with, that I could personally understand the impact and the difference and the change that we could be making in people's lives. And that directly geared my attention towards an organization that worked with kids, that had some sort of involvement in bringing arts to K through 12, the next generation, the younger generation, because it's something, to me, was sorely lacking in my life and missed. A big part of my identity and a big part of my purpose in life didn't come about until I found the creative arts, the storytelling, the entertainment industry. All of the things that have come with that, I now identify as who I am. My ability to feel like I can make a difference in this world and do some good comes directly from the power of storytelling and what that influence can be done. What can be done with that influence when used towards positive means versus just trying to serve the lowest common denominator or make money. So it took me till 30 to find the entertainment industry, to find my passion for storytelling, or to unlock my passion for storytelling and to realize it meant anything. And that a big part of that was the time period and everything. I grew up in Buffalo was all about sports. Sports. My life revolved and focused, and that's all I thought about 24/7 was sports. And when I lost sports, there was a huge gap in my life. Everything was missing, and my life didn't start up again until 10 years later when I found storytelling and my passion for storytelling. So I look at the people I've met along the way out here in the entertainment industry. People like Romello Nelson, who we had on the show a while ago, that at 20 years old, this kid is so wise, smart, and intellectual and driven. And all of that kind of started from finding his purpose and his passion at a young age, at an early age, what he wanted to do, what he wanted to be in life. And I think of where my life would be now and how much further ahead I would be and how much more well-rounded of a person I would have been all along had I been exposed to the arts, had arts been a part of my life at an early age, going through high school, all of that type of stuff. And that's what led me to YA-WNY, is what organization in Buffalo in Western New York is making an effort to try to unlock those creative juices, those inspirations, those passions within the next generation of kids. What can I do to help that next generation from not having someone like me that probably would have been a much better brother, much better friend, much better son had I had a more creative focus and driven and outlet for a lot of the passion that was built up inside of me. And as soon as I found YA-WNY, it was them. It was Young Audiences of Western New York. That's their entire goal. Their entire purpose is to expose kids to careers in the arts, to opportunities in the arts that aren't just about being rich, famous, and successful. It's all the different things behind the camera, all the things that go into creating stuff on a collaborative team effort. And you know, the sooner they get introduced to that stuff, the sooner you can find a love you didn't know existed. You know, I'll bring it back to sports. I absolutely loved sports, but I didn't know really sports existed and really what that was until my parents forced me to go play a season of football. And I found something that I truly loved. And I wish in some way, somehow, YA-WNY would have been introduced into my life at that age, and I would have been forced to do a season of art, or to take some sort of artistic classes of creative writing, acting, any of those different things to just expose me to that stuff. That stuff's real. I mean, people that watch or listen to all these Gratcast episodes have probably heard me say this 1,000 times, but I was so wrapped up in watching movies and content and the creative elements of it that it never occurred to me people were making that stuff. I was just in on the story. I love the stories. And I wish somebody told me, you know, that story you love so much, that story was made by George Lucas. Here's George Lucas's story and how he became a filmmaker and all that. That would have changed my life at 14, 15 years old. So that's why Yanni, dear.
Okay. Good reason, right? I mean, it's for the kids. And if you run out of artists as children, what the heck are we going to watch when we're old and gray and can't make it anymore either? I mean, really.
So, I pretty much answered the next topic question. So now it's...
Oh, that was a sneaky way of bringing up a topic thing.
Now it's your turn, dear.
My turn.
I would like you to share with all of us what the arts and creativity have meant to you and your life and your identity.
Well, the arts didn't really start mattering until we moved to Iowa from Chicago. Because when we lived in Chicago, we were doing stuff all the time. Like, there were people there, and friends, and stuff to do. And we moved to Iowa, like, 2 miles out into the country. And Mom and Dad are no one's taxi service. Just so you know. No. And, So there became a lot of reading. A lot of watching movies. Mom and Dad still have over, I think it's 5,000 movies and TV shows now that we've taped off of TV or DVDs, what have you. So that became a very easy outlet for all forms of arts to not have to worry about being in Iowa. So I'd say that actually is when I started forming into a real person, where it was no longer about playing and messing around and actually realizing there are other people who you like and dislike, and you have to find ways how to get around it. And arts worked for all three of us kids. My sister went for painting and clay and glass blowing. My brother went for writing, and I went for acting. And it kind of just stuck. We all went to school for it. Mom and Dad are so very proud to have arts kids. My sister with an art degree, me with a theater and film degree, and my brother with a writing degree.
Is there a moment that you consciously remember where art went from an entertainment component to something that you consciously pursued as a career path? Like, where did that crossover happen?
In 7th grade, you had to pick a career. Our guidance counselor came in, made you take all these personality tests. Start thinking about what you might want to start taking in high school as your special classes. So that was already one that I hated people when we moved to Iowa.
You didn't like your fellow Iowans?
I did not, and they did not like me either. It's fair. It was an equal dislike. I swear to God, if they ever come across anything with me, they're going to be like, I hate her. You're like, that's me
the girl
too.
you used to throw corn at.
Like, I feel the same way about you you feel about me, and I still feel the same way I did back when I was, like, 12 and all of it.
You know what I've never thought of just this moment? But corn kernels would probably be real good in slingshots.
They are not nice. They hurt at all. They hurt. They're hard. Even when they're wet still, it's not nice.
Ooh, wet corn kernels? In a slingshot?
People are mean. That's all. And they don't even realize they're mean. But that was my easy access to not have to think about where I was, is for a little bit, I could be something else, someone else. I could read a script, and that actually became one of those things. Exactly. Idiots out wandering around in freaking cornfields. So weird. Okay. So weird.
So
it's been part of me since I was little. Like, little. And that's been the one main thing that I wanted to do and could do, and I guess when I came out here, I got one half of my wish, which is living in California where people are nice or they just don't care, which is equivalent to nice when you come from somewhere where people care about things that are not their
Coming from
business.
Buffalo, these people are not nice.
They're nice. They are. They just ignore you. That's nice. That's not getting in your business. I'll take it. I'll take it any day. So I think I got a little easy on myself with creativity and with trying everything once I got out here.
Thank you for translating that, Emily. I just got it. I didn't know that.
Spoilers.
So what about now in today's life? How would you say arts and entertainment are part of your identity?
Well, I'd say I've failed a little bit on the arts, but the entertainment I consume at a massive rate. Massive. Like, if you could have diabetes, that version from watching too much, I would have, the ocular diabetes. Yes.
Before we get into Emily's Corner, we're going to talk a little bit about the WGA versus the ATA battle that's been going on in Hollywood.
Okay, let's explain these letters you're throwing out here, people.
I was just about to circle back on that.
Oh, I'm circling now.
For those that don't know, the WGA is the Writers Guild Association, and the ATA is the Agents Talent Association, something like that. It's the guild for agents.
Talent agents.
Yes, for talent agents.
You know, the people who negotiate contracts. They're not apparently lawyers because they never went to law school and they couldn't qualify for that.
So,
let's get into it.
We've talked many times on this show specifically. This is why Gratcast, Taking on Hollywood and Telling the Tales, exists. We've talked about the collusion. We've talked about the predatory behavior. We've talked about the poor business models that are obsolete and crumbling, that are facilitated mainly by a bunch of middlemen that need to get their pockets greased to facilitate anything. We've talked about all these horrible things and how they're all the inner workings of the modern entertainment industry. Surprisingly, the Writers Guild Association has decided to take a stand on behalf of everybody and try and fight back against one of the cornerstones of the collusion and the predatory practices that go on in the entertainment industry. And to be honest with you, my mind's blown that they're so committed to taking up this fight, because what they're taking on is so blatantly corruption and a conflict of interest that it's really amazing that they're actually addressing it. And what that is what the entertainment industry calls packaging. And packaging is where, let's say I'm a writer at talent agency A. And talent agency A wants to get my project made, but they decide they're going to package it with other people that they represent at their talent agency. So now the movie that was written by Talent Agent A's writer is directed by Talent Agent A's director and produced by Talent Agent A's producer, and on it goes with the leading actor from Talent Agent A. And not only creatively are your options limited to who's under their umbrella, but they're double dipping on all the different fees here within all of these different things. And while they're supposed to be negotiating for that writer's best interest, they're also now negotiating for the best interest of that other client on the project, and on it goes. But on top of all of that, these talent agencies now have their own production companies where they're packaging all of this stuff under the production company's umbrella, where they own all of the talent, and they're negotiating now on both sides of the table. The production company is trying to get the best deal and the lowest compensation possible on all of these different talents for the project so it can make as much money as possible for the talent agency. And the talent agency's sole purpose for existing is to get the most money possible for the talent that's being attached to each one of these projects. All of it is one big giant conflict of interest. Thoughts on that, Andrea?
I think it's about time, because everyone's known about it for the longest time, and I think it's sad that it took the writers to get to this point and not the directors, not the actors.
We've always got to be the ones.
What's this we? Are you part of the guild?
I identify as a writer first and foremost, and I do stand with the WGA. I stood with the WGA 10 years ago when they were the first to go on strike and fight for royalties and digital media and all of that. The writers are the beginning of the idea and put it through the pipeline, and they're always the one that have to stand up and fight for everybody else. So yeah, I stand with the WGA.
So part of what pisses me off the most about it is it's not just that one agent that has this one writer. It's so the WGA is suing 4 different agencies right now that are huge enough that they control a huge amount of talent across the board on every level.
The big 4.
So, one of which is CAA. William Morris is another one. So let's say if you have an agent at CAA, it isn't necessarily that his people are the only ones who are going to be attached to your project. It's that if he takes your project to Warner Brothers and they say, yeah, we want to buy it, and they go, oh, that's great that you're interested, but if you really want to buy it, now I want you to deal with another writer on another project I have. They aren't dealing with just your project. They're actually making your one project contingent on other people's work that has nothing to do with yours whatsoever, which is not why you have an agent. An agent is supposed to protect an individual. That is actually in the contract.
They're leveraging themselves and the people they control for
They're
their own
acting
benefit.
as if they are.
Yeah.
They're acting as a manager does, which is why people have a problem with managers when they have more than one client, because they suddenly act as if I'm the puppet master. They'll do what I say because I say it. And so what the WGA did is they told, after months of trying to negotiate with the Talent Agency Association people and getting them to do a cut of the package fees. This is the thing. On top of them getting their percentage from each of their people and from their other projects that they're creating off of your original contact and interest, by the way. It's your interest that got someone to the table, not the other people that they're trying to push on them now and say they have to take if they want your project. But they're doing all of this, and then they're getting an additional package fee.
Packaging fees.
But what you were saying is so much less than what it actually is, and that's what... They're getting a fee from each one of those projects, and they're not giving any percentage to the people that are actually creating any of it.
And then they're also
so what the Writers Guild asked was, cut us a bit of that packaging fee then. We want every one of your writers who's on it, we want a little bit more, just a bit from that additional fee. Nope. They tried to come back after the WGA had already let their writers know, fire them. Fire them all. If they're refusing to and their agency will not willingly adjust to what we're asking, fire them because they're not helping you. They didn't say you had to. They said they aren't helping you. And so 90% of all writers out here in LA in a 1-day period dropped their agents. It was all over here. All over. And agents started emailing their ex-clients, oh, you know they're not looking out for you. As if they were. As if they were. And if it was any other industry, you would get brought up on charges for that. Because that is a conflict of interest.
Yeah, the bottom line
because
is,
they're doing your contracts, and that is a legal, binding decision. And they're the ones doing that, and they're fucking up your world because they want more money. As if they have any talent themselves.
The bottom line
don't. Attorneys can do it now.
The bottom line is they're playing both sides of the fence. And it is feasibly impossible to negotiate for a client's best interest when you're also representing the client on the opposite side of those negotiations, which is oftentimes now themselves by serving as the production company. This would be...
Hey, Kayla!
A perfect example of this outside of the entertainment industry would be if NFL franchises started opening up their own sports athlete management companies and agency companies. So now if you want to play for the Buffalo Bills, you got to sign with the Buffalo Bills talent agency and have the Buffalo Bills people negotiate your contracts. It makes absolutely no sense on how anything like that would ever exist, and it wouldn't exist outside of the entertainment industry because the entertainment industry is so ridiculously broken already that people just accept it because again they control all the access, and this is what they do with it. They create more and more ways.
But now WGA has made a new online submission on their own platform So now writers can submit directly to showrunners and producers. So, to talent agents, you didn't do anything. Oh, Emily. Yeah, Emily. This is my signal to Emily.
Yep, Emily, if you're ready, call on in for Emily's Corner.
So yes, Emily's Corner coming up here in just a second. I'm going to get that up ready. Emily's Corner.
So we'll see how far this goes and how long it lasts, but like I think the WGA is dug in on a position that they can't crack from at this point.
They shouldn't have to.
But at a certain point in negotiations, you got to find kind of a middle ground. But I think what they've decided to make their case on and what they've decided to make their stand on, I don't think you can allow any middle ground to exist any further. I think you have to see this fight through to the end, where you have to eliminate the packaging and talent agencies owning their own production companies. That era has to end if you're going to take the first steps towards cleaning up this industry.
I think if I found out that I wasn't getting a role because an agent is holding it up because he wants someone else to get another job, I would tear that dude's eyes out. I would beat him in the street with his own shoe.
Well,
Screw you for holding me back from making a living because you think you get to have a decision about my work. If I want to do the job, your job is to put it into words. What we agreed upon. You put it into words on paper, and that's your job. Well, so I don't have to be the bad guy saying, no, I'm not going to take 10%. I want 15%.
Think about how far this ripples through the entire way a movie comes about and things are packaged.
Yeah, so agents can go suck it.
Director A is trying to cast a movie, and he's looking to cast the movie for the best talent possible for each of his roles. But instead, his agent is whispering / putting pressure on him that, hey, man, you should really cast this person and that person and this person, who are all other people represented by that agent that's trying to set them all up and get those careers all launched at the same time. So, and again, because now they're not just getting commission off that one project from the director, they're now getting commission off of each one of the different components that they put into that project, and then they're also getting commission as the agent or representative for the production company owned by the talent agency.
Like, it was coming out that they were making more money off of shows than people who were head writers.
Oh, of course they were.
Lead actors.
Absolutely.
Like, that is insane.
And again,
insane.
Because the actual person that's being negotiated on behalf of, whether it's the writer, the director, whatever, they don't know the full scale of what's available and what their value is under those circumstances, but the agent who's playing both sides of the fence does. So now, and this is what bookies used to do back in the day, you can play the points on both sides and create a middle ground where you're taking even more because the client thinks they're only being paid so much, and the other side that you're representing thinks they're paying so much, and you're actually taking a higher percentage in the middle because they both think they're paying a little less or more than that. It's unbelievable, the shady realm that exists where they've been living off of these packaging deals.
I don't like it. I'd like them to disappear. I like them to disappear, and I'd like them to have to give money back.
That's a few showrunners have asked that and proposed that to their agents.
100%. And especially if you find out after the fact that you lost out on a job or an opportunity because someone was fucking around, you should be allowed to sue them. The company and them personally. I want your new car. Screw you. I could have had a new car. I think that's the only way it works.
It's all collusion.
All right, Miss Emmy, I'm going to send you a message right now in case you are off grabbing supper or something.
She had just sent a message in the chat just a few minutes ago, so she should be good to go here.
I'm guessing she was just getting ready.
We'll give her another minute or two before we move on to bullet blitzes to kill time, if she's not ready.
Oh. Okay, I got a bullet blitz. And this is when I asked other people. Yeah. If you are going to be drinking, should you start with beer or wine first? No hard liquor. The day is going to be beer and wine. Which one do you start with?
Wine before beer, never be fine. Beer before wine, always on time. No.
Okay. Hey, look at that. Good timing.
Whoa!
Yeah, baby. That was
Good job, Emily. You saved us. It was getting awkward.
Oh, come on, Em.
It's going to take a second for the wheels to turn round and round.
Almost.
Should get a little Oh, yeah! There she is.
I see you. Do you see us?
Yes, I can see you.
Oh, and I can hear you. Yeah, baby. High five. It worked.
Okay, Emily, we got 2 questions for you right out the gate on Emily's Corner. First one.
Okay.
First one's real easy, just to appease Andrea. Wine before beer, beer before wine.
If you're gonna do a full day of drinking, and that's all you got is beer and wine, which one do you drink first?
Wine and wine.
There we go.
All right.
All right, Emily. So the next one is not quite so easy. We're going to come out with a barn burner for you.
Burning down barns?
We would like to know what creativity and art have meant to you and your identity.
I mean, it's something that's been in my life since I was like a kid. Starting with that, I've always loved to color and just doodle and draw. And then in high school, I started doing theater, and I started writing and acting. I mean, it's been part of my life it's who I am.
Would you say it's one of the binding fibers that connect you to most of your social network?
I would think so. I've been, and not just like being a part of it, just like, I've been watching movies like forever, and that's what I grew up on, I was watching horror movies as a child, as a baby, so, everybody knows me as, like, the person that can quote movie quotes and have a full conversation just on quotes.
So we have a question from Sammy. So you mentioned that you're an actress, and I just heard you mention that you do writing too. What kind of writing do you do? What's your murder mystery game night writing? What kind of writing?
There's a couple of stories out on the internet, actually, that I've written. And then
I thought you were going to say there was a couple stories on the internet about you.
Yeah, that's not under my real name. It's on a Wattpad. And they're not safe for work.
Okay.
Stories.
Good. So they're entertaining. Gotcha.
But they started off as fan fiction, but I've started to rewrite them so that they're not based on celebrities, because that's what fan fiction is, obviously. They're very popular stories, though. I got a lot of comments. And then I've written tons of short scripts. During high school, I wrote scripts, and then I've got some movies I've done that I wrote the scripts for, and
Emily,
of course,
cool.
when I write a script, the friends that I have that I get to act in the movies, they're not, they don't usually read my script, so then they just kind of half-ass it.
Emily, what do you think of
I've come
Wattpad?
across a couple people like that.
I like it. I haven't been on it too much lately. I kind of lost my writing muse, so I see that's really different. There is another website I use too, but I can't think of the name of it right now.
How would you explain Wattpad for people that have not been there before?
How do I explain it? A smorgasbord of everything. Basically, anybody can write about anything and everything. I've seen a lot of things about on there. basically, I think it gives anybody a chance to get that writing out, to express themselves.
So how do you advertise yourself or let people know it's out there? Like, I don't know what this... Is it like a Reddit? Like, what is...
See, I don't even know what a Reddit is. I'm so old. I don't know this.
Like a bunch of people just put it up and you just randomly pick which one you want to read, or?
Yeah. There's a lot of fan fiction on Wattpad, so you can search by, like, you add tags to your story, so you can search for a specific thing that you're looking for, and then you get recommendations, and if someone posted something similar to what you like, or anything like that.
Okay. I guess that's kind of like Reddit. Like, you just need people's attention, and they kind of bring it on.
I've been on both, so I'll jump in here. Reddit is more just threads of comments. Somebody throws a topic out there, and then everybody can respond with comments on that topic. Wattpad is more, here's a writing editor, you can write a whole novel in there if you want, and you can distribute it by chapter or short segments, and then people can go in and they can share that short segment writing. They can say, good job. They can give you a tip and say, hey, I really like your writing. Here's $5 for coffee. It's kind of like, the YouTube of writing would be the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Nice.
No.
So you're not going to tell us what your pen name is, though, huh?
Is it Dark Nightmares?
Screw you, Kris.
I don't know what you're talking about. I know my Twitter is bad. I cannot think if I think it is, actually.
Well, everybody, now we know where to look, and I'll be nice enough not to put it in there, but
the hunt for Dark Nightmares writing.
About, an hour 7 in.
Right there. It's not spelled correctly, but...
Okay, Emily.
Cool way to spell
Dark Nightmares.
Let's move on to what really matters.
What really matters, Kris?
As with everything in life, the end game is all that matters.
It's all about the end game. All right, so Em, you tell us. You went to the theater and saw it? Give us your experience.
Yeah.
What was it like?
We saw it in the theaters too, Andrea.
I want to know what theirs was like. Tell me. Were there people dressed up? Were the lines insane? Did someone cry? Who didn't cry? I mean, there's so much that happens in that movie, and going into a Marvel movie anyway that some shit's gonna go down. So you try to prepare yourself for everything, but there's just so much that goes on. So I went to go see it at our Alamo Draft House, and they have one theater that has like surround sound in it, and I had to go into that theater. I needed the surround sound, and so they had like a comic book store there selling merchandise, and down the long hallway, because the theater that has the surround sound is the last theater at the far end. Of course, they had 6 standee cutouts of the 6 original Avengers. So there was Hulk, Iron Man, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Captain America, and Thor. And you could take your picture with them. But what I loved was that they had in the little hallway from the entryway to the theaters, they had 8 posters of the dusted characters from Infinity War. And then they had 8 jars of sand, dust on tables next to the posters. Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. They had like little candles and flowers, like in memorial. So like Bucky, Nick Fury was there. And I like grabbed Bucky's jar because I love Bucky is my favorite. he not giving any spoilers away, but there was definitely a Bucky shortage in the end game.
I mean, it's not really a spoiler because, I mean, Spider-Man's got a new movie coming out. Guardians has a new movie coming out. You know these people are going to come back. So, yeah, no, there's not enough Bucky. I needed more Bucky in my life.
I think that's a t-shirt right there. Not enough Bucky.
Not enough Bucky. Bucky and Falcon, though, are getting their own TV show on Disney Plus, as well as Wanda, Scarlet Witch, and Vision, and Hawkeye. All have shows coming up.
I don't understand how some of those shows are going to work and not screw things up in the universe. Like, the Wanda and Vision show is supposed to be, like, set in the 50s?
Oh, is it?
That's
I just know it's called WandaVision.
And where, like, are you still following Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
No, I haven't for a while.
Because I feel like they've flown completely off the rails with the main timeline of the movies now.
I know they did. Yeah, they're on like their own little timeline.
So, overall, how did you feel walking out of the theater, and how do you feel a day later?
How did I feel walking out of the theater? I felt incomplete. I felt, I felt
like there's more?
Empty. I mean, I always want more. There's something about these Marvel movies. You can't get enough. Disney's taking over the world, but they put out such amazing movies most of the time. But I don't know. There's something about it. But I think because of what happened, it left you empty inside. Things got completed, but it just was hard to accept some of it.
See, I'm interested to see how it holds up over multiple viewings, because I feel like, and like, I'm gonna say this out here. It's not a huge spoiler. I think everyone knows that in some variation, this installment was gonna deal with time travel, but when you introduce time travel to the extent that they introduce it into here, I just think you're opening a whole rat's nest of loose ends and questions and confusion, and you're just setting yourself up for disappointment when you start swirling the time travel bucket that thoroughly.
Really, I thought there was only a couple of instances where the time travel was like, what is that going to do? Like, obviously, the very end situation, what happens, with that whole thing at the very end, what would that do, though? So, what would cause, you would think with what happened, it would change some things from some previous movies.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's several of those elements in there. It's just a Pandora's box for me that I feel like takes a lot away from where it would have been.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why can we save some of the characters using time travel?
Oh, spoils!
I'm not saying any names.
Spoils!
Why can we save some of the characters using time travel, but other characters that died under the exact same circumstances can't be saved through the same methods? It's just for what they built over 21 movies. I feel like, and introducing time travel into it at the 22nd hour, it cheapens a lot of the other movies accidentally or unintentionally.
Time travel is a bitch to work with. no, there's always flaws. Terminator, Back to the Future, they're good movies, but at the same time, there's so many flaws with the whole time travel thing.
And then when you go out of your way to mention all the other time travel movies, you're acknowledging already the
including Hot Tub Time Machine, which Sebastian Stan, who plays Bucky, is in that. So.
Is he one of the mean skiers?
He's the main mean skier, the one that thinks they're from a German organization.
That's the one. Yes.
Yeah, but by mentioning all of those movies, you're indirectly acknowledging that you understand that there's a bunch of bullshit that comes with time travel, and it ends up falling apart under its own weight, inevitably, by being poked at by anyone else. So by poking at those other movies, by trying to say that, you're merely pointing out the fact that anyone points out time travel movies, you can find holes everywhere.
So the question, are you going to watch it? Are you ever going to watch it again? Or was once enough and now you're just...
definitely got to watch it again.
No. I got my cousin and her husband haven't seen it yet. We went to go see Infinity Wars together, so we're probably going to go see it together. And then I'm already, they announced I shared it on my Facebook. They announced a 22-disc box set. I'm going to be getting that. I mean...
Dude, so it's going to cost so much money.
I know.
I have one specific subject on the show that I do want to talk about that could be spoiler-free. So if anyone's still watching or is watching at this point and really cares about serious, meaty spoiler... tune out at this point in time because we're going to talk about this one specifically.
Okay, then pause. Spoiler. Please change stations now.
I don't want to get into a bunch of the other ones because we're too far into the episode to get too far into this. But at one point when Captain America's traveling back in time, he sees the love of his life across the office way there. Remember? And he sees her desk and a picture on the desk. Was that not a picture of him in the picture frame on the desk?
Yes.
Okay, so at that point, I'm pretty sure it was him too. And my understanding is
that's what stopped him. It was him.
But at that point in time, isn't she already supposed to be married and moved on with kids?
See, he's the one that his whole time travel thing is this.
I'm not even getting into the whole end part of
I know, but his whole everything with that time travel, but with his story is just.
Because here's, I get that. Yeah. But here's where
this is right before she meets him, so, her first husband.
Here's where I'm going with this, and follow me on it now. So I know what your problem is that there should have been a divergent timeline if he went back and changed stuff. That's the big plot hole. If he went back and stayed, then that should have created its own separate timeline, and he would have never been able to be there as an old man at the end. Correct?
Well, yeah, because if he stayed with her, then he, is there two Captain Americas then? The one that's still frozen? Well, and then he comes in Avengers?
Yeah, there is.
There's all of that stuff on its own.
Because he's still technically there in that frozen state at that point. And then he comes back out and helps everyone and becomes Super American Man. This is going
a little far off track from where I want to focus it and get into a whole bunch of other things on that. But yeah, so all of those things get into, I was reading a couple good articles that point out they break the character that's been established over a long period of time on that dynamic. But what I want to talk about is, so everyone thinks it's a plot hole at the end that old man Captain America's sitting there and he wouldn't be in that timeline if he went back and created a divergent timeline. Okay?
Yeah, that's true.
And during that time period that he went back there, she was supposed to be, based on the Peggy character in the canon, her TV show and everything else, and what she said in Winter Soldier, she was married during that time period and to a guy that was saved by Captain America. and had two kids.
I remember that now.
Yes, but they never said who. So here's what I'm thinking.
Right.
Maybe the entire Marvel universe that we've been following is already the Divergent timeline, and the person she married and the two kids is him, and that's why his picture's on the desk, because she was already with him, and he was just finishing the loop by going back and staying there and being with her. He finished the loop. So the Divergent timeline is actually a complete timeline for them, because he went back. Is you following me?
That is. Oh no, I got you. That's at least you're trying to explain. Like, at least you're trying to put a bow tie on it. Other people are just ready to. Other people are just ready to like shoot away.
But like the character, that's why I didn't want to talk about the character dynamics and all that, because him just sitting back in all of these years while shit goes down and not getting involved doesn't make sense for the character. But if you brush that part aside and you complete the loop, assuming that their entire timeline is already an alternate Divergent timeline, then it completes that timeline by having him go back and disrupt the main timeline and create the Divergent one that they're all on.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I cracked.
I think you cracked.
I think I cracked this nut.
I think you could talk to the writers and make sure you're correct. This is what you guys were thinking, right? Right? I knew it. I got it.
Okay, yeah. Moving on from Avengers, and here and there we'll jump on a little more details.
I didn't get my questions answered though. They had like the setup outside the theater, but were people like dressed up? Like at the event?
At my showing, no. But I saw a picture. Someone was dressed as Star-Lord. So there were people dressed up, but not at the time I went.
So they didn't fanboy out like they did at the Comic-Con that you went to a couple weeks ago, that RDR2 one where everyone was all totally costumed out.
Good segue, dear. Good segue.
And you had that awesome shirt on. Oh, that's what you needed to have the picture of. That's what I was going to tell you. The picture you posted of you with the guys and you had your shirt on the what's his name? Paul or whatever?
It's Gavin.
Yeah.
Gavin. So which one of those was more fun, though?
Gavin.
Like, the convention or going to see the movie?
Two different excitements.
Which one left you feeling more satisfied at the end? Oh, see, there we go.
Comic-Con, obviously.
So what were the highlights?
I mean, the Avengers left me satisfied. It was just so emotionally draining.
So what were the highlights for you from the Comic-Con that you went to?
Oh my god, the Red Dead Redemption boys. So there was tons of people, lines for every celebrity that was there. I didn't even get to go see a panel because I pretty much spent the entire day waiting in line.
Do they have fast passes?
So,
like, did they offer that?
Yes, and that would be a pain in the ass. But they only offer it for 3 days. Like, you have to go you have to do all 3 days to get it.
Oh.
And what sucks is, like, we'd be sitting in line for, like, 2 hours, and like, the celebrity would come back, and here comes, like, 8 Fast Pass people. Mm-hmm. And we're like, we've been waiting here for fucking 2 hours. Like...
You think the people that are there for 3 days are the ones that have the most time to wait.
Right. So, first we did Carrie Elway's, from Twister, Saw, Princess Bride, of course. We did him first because he had to leave by like 3 p.m.
Men in Tights too, right?
And yes, Men in Tights.
And the Crush.
And so was he not? Yes.
Wasn't he the big one that Alicia Silverstone was all crazy over?
I thought that wasn't it? It's been so long since I've seen that.
Yeah, you just gotta keep
it. So right away we went to find his line, and it was already like backed up. and he had his panel to do. And we're like, well, we're gonna like sit here and wait. We're gonna skip his panel because we want his autograph. So they have him hidden in a back room, like behind curtains. Everyone else has like tables. You can see him. I don't know why he was like that. I don't know if he's like has anxiety.
He pulled his table behind the curtain. He's like, I don't want to be here. I'm scared. He did.
Yeah, his table was behind this curtain with all of his pictures and stuff. It was really weird. He was the only one. So we go through the curtain, and it's me and my mom, and oh my god, he's so freaking tiny. He lost a lot of weight. Very nice though, very quiet too. He almost talks in a whisper. I got a Saw autograph. I had him write "Game Over."
Nice.
And so then, we talked a little bit. We said how much we loved him in the show Psych and all that. And he shook our hands. I got my picture taken with him, and then we went on. And so then my next thing was my photograph with the 2 Red Dead Redemption boys. The voice actors of John Marston and Arthur Morgan. So I go to that line, which isn't too long. And how I do photos is you go through a line and then you go into a curtain where they're standing because they don't want you to take, get photos of them.
Of course.
Right.
Let's put you in a closet with them. Even better.
So my shirt, if you played Red Dead Redemption 2, there's a character who's a British fancy man. You meet him all over the game, and he's shouting Gavin. He's looking for his friend Gavin the entire game. He's just like, Gavin, Gav. So my shirt, I got a picture of that guy, and it just said Gavin underneath him. So I walk in there, and the voice actor of Arthur Morgan sees it first, and he's got an Irish accent. You wouldn't think that. He's got an amazing Irish accent. And he's like, oh, I love your shirt. And I'm like, oh, thank you. And then the actor that does John Marston just starts laughing his ass off. He starts bursting out laughter. And I stand in between them. They put their arms around me. He's still laughing. So we take the picture, and he's like, I'm so sorry. I think I was laughing during the photo. And I'm like, yes. But I just have a true celebrity smile. Usually they just they give their celebrity hey, all right, we're here. Mm-hmm. And so it turned out to be a really great photo.
That's awesome.
And then we went to go see, and then the highlight was going to meet them at the autograph table. So I had printed out a picture of John Marston, Arthur Morgan together, and what I wanted was Arthur to put I know, and Marston to put "You're my brother," which, if you played the game at the very end, that is like their last lines together before shit goes down. And so I go up to him, and he's like, points on my shoulder. He's like, "Hey, I remember you." I'm like, "I know, 5 minutes ago we did that." So I get my autograph, and they both were just has to be the nicest people in the world. And awesome. I went to shake the one's hand, and he put both his hands over my one hand, and I'm like, "Thank you." And he's like, "No, thank you." And I'm like, "Oh my god," you just start freaking out. And but no, we got to meet the Weasley twins were there from Harry Potter.
Very cool.
I couldn't get too close to them. Their line was like all over the place. They were a huge hit.
Are they super tall in real life?
And yeah, and they look so much better with their natural dark hair. They don't look good as
they're not gingers. Well,
no, they naturally have black hair.
I would never recognize them on the real street if they are not bright red, super tall twins. Like that right away, I would think Weasley twins, but otherwise, no. That's so cool.
So yeah, A lot of the celebrities were there. We got to meet Henry Winkler, of course, who's the Fawn. He's so short. He's so short. And his wife was there, and she's so lovely. She's like, oh, go up, go ahead and meet him, go hug him. She's just loving it. And and like my mom was waiting in line, so she was sitting on the floor with a bunch of other people waiting for him to return. And one of the Comic-Con people came over and was like, you need to stand up and make room for more people. And so all of them stood up, and they still had like an hour to wait. And his wife came over, and she's like, why are you guys standing? And they're like, well, they told us to. And she's like, no, you sit back down. You still have a while, so you sit there. And she went to go yell at the Comic-Con person.
Good.
So,
oh, yes.
So, yeah, she was a very sweetheart. But, yeah, we got to meet a lot of fun people. Lori Petty, Tara Strong. Chris Sarandon was there. Wall Shawn. There was, like, a Princess Bride thing. But, yeah, it was... and I got Crypticon coming up in July. I'm really excited to meet Sid Haig and Heather Langenkamp are the two, and Tom Savini. I keep almost forgetting him.
Will 3 from Hell be out by then?
I don't think so. I don't know when that's supposed to come out. I'm really excited for that. I got to meet Bill Moseley already. He came to our Alamo Draft House. So I'm really excited to meet Sid and get his autograph. But I'm excited for 3 from Hell. I am.
Nice. Okay, Emily, we've got to wrap up this week's Emily's Corner here.
1 second.
We've flown
Emily,
over on
do
our
you
time.
still have your awesome hat that you made? Is it there, or did you have to
Yes,
submit
I
it?
still.
So,
No, I
super
took
creative.
pictures of it. And
how do we show the people the pictures? Damn it.
Is this maybe something for next week's Emily's Corner?
Maybe, but I want to show them now, because
Yeah.
for Kentucky Derby. It is so freaking cool. So cool.
which is this Saturday.
See? So it's coming up. We're still within time. I'm going to go close. Here we go. I'm doing it, people. I'm coming up to the camera up here so you guys can see on the phone.
You can just hold it up.
Here. This one Emily can see.
You gotta hold it above.
Yeah.
Emily.
Ha ha ha. You all do it your own way. Your own silly. There you go. Do you see it? Let me cover up Chris's face.
I see what looks like a cake.
It's not a cake. It's not a cake.
Is it a tumor?
It's not a tumor.
It looks
is
like
a
a wedding.
hat.
Definitely looks like a wedding cake.
That's how awesome it is. It's a hat, and there's a horse on it. You see that? That is a hat.
I think
That
I need
is
to
awesome.
see it on a head to believe it's a hat because it
Well,
looks like
here.
a wedding cake.
Let me see. Okay. All right. Challenge
boy.
accepted. Challenge accepted. Ta-da!
Oh, there it is. It's on a head.
Stupid camera.
They got side by side heads.
Yeah, side-by-side heads. Yeah. This thing is awesome.
It's actually there's actually
Ooh,
two
look at those
horses.
horses. That is intense.
It's
And people don't
it is a
realize
wedding cake.
how incredibly artistic and talented you are. Like, not only did you make the murder mystery game, like, you came up with every part of it.
Alright. Are you ready for this?
Do it.
Does it light up? Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah, that one wins.
Emily, are you going to a Kentucky Derby party?
I am. And there's a contest that has, like, $3,000 in prizes. I don't know how many people get a chance to win. So,
Dude.
this is my first Kentucky Derby hat ever. But, yeah.
You're
I'm a
gonna
big fan.
You're gonna have to let us know how the contest goes next week.
That thing looks awesome.
Have you ever been to a Kentucky Derby party before?
No.
Oh,
I've been to the horse racing park, but not to Kentucky Derby.
there's something called a Derby pie, which if it's a good Kentucky Derby party, they're gonna have a Derby pie.
What's in a Derby pie?
I think it's just a peanut butter pie, but
Oh. And I was thinking it was like the steaming divots
no.
from Pretty Woman. Beware the steaming divot. Yes.
Okay, Emily, any final...
Aww.
Real quick.
There it is. There's the picture.
I have it out here, so...
Hell yeah. And that is a real smile.
There's that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Emily, any final words for this week's Emily's Corner? Maybe a little tease on what we can expect next week?
Let's see. Next week we'll have the results of the Kentucky Derby hat.
Yeah, big winnings.
And the results of the Kentucky Derby.
Go Omaha Beach, just because Omaha. And let's see what else. Surprises until I can think of it. But go see Avengers Endgame if you haven't already. Even if you haven't seen any of the other ones.
And then, we can all talk about it openly. We can all discuss it. Yes.
All right,
Thank
Emily.
you so much, Emily. Thank you for joining us tonight. Sorry we kept you up quite a bit later than we thought we were going to. But thank you.
Yeah. All right.
All right, dear. We're
All right.
moving on.
I will let you go, my dear, for the final minutes. Bye. There we go. And M's Corner.
Should probably take her down first on that side before this side. I'm going to give you my bullet blitz now.
You have a bullet blitz?
I do have a bullet blitz.
Alrighty.
Dean Winters, the Allstate Mayhem guy, mentioned this week that he died for 5 minutes in 2009. My question for you is...
Wait, the Allstate Mayhem guy, you mean the dude from, Rescue Me?
Yeah. Which apparently this was around the time he was filming Rescue Me. So anyway,
he died?
Mike for 5 minutes.
On set?
I don't know if it's on set or not.
That's the part that matters.
The bullet blitz is... What is the closest near-death experience you have had in your life?
When I was either 7 or 8, I apparently had a super bad concussion. I was out for a couple of days.
That's a coma. That's not a concussion.
Well, I definitely know that I went to the hospital, and I only know because my family told me after the fact, but I was out for a couple of days, and yeah.
It's called a coma.
So, I would say that would be it.
How'd you get knocked into a coma?
You know how when you're riding a bicycle and you start going around in a circle just to see how fast you could get going if you do? From the street onto someone's driveway, through the little sidewalk to the... Oh. So I was doing that.
Was it on gravel, too?
No, it was in Chicago. My shoelace, my sock, I don't know, something got in with the chain, and apparently I went flying. Sidewalk, street, don't know which one, but I was found by the parents on the street.
Snoring like a baby.
Apparently I was screaming. I don't know about that. I don't recall any of it. But yeah, I went to the doctor, and a couple days later I woke up on the couch, and Mom and Dad were like, yep, take it easy. This is the first time you've been woo, aware.
Okay, then.
Yeah. I start life hard. What about you?
It would probably have to be the first time I was in a car accident where I got hit by a car when I was 15, and I came to underneath the car. That one was close.
Meaning by the tires? Or the car was flipped?
The tire was the tire hit my shoulder and hit my hip.
So you were not alongside, but literally looking at the engine parts.
No, I was looking up underneath the front bumper, and the car had skidded to a stop and hit me on the side. They have nice bald tires.
What were you doing out on the street?
I was going across the street to play football, wearing spikes, and I tripped on a pothole.
And you were on the ground, and the person did not see you until...
he slammed his brakes and slid.
So you saw a car coming and decided it was still an okay time to cross as a kid.
Had I not tripped, I'd have made it.
You're the kind of pedestrian that you hate now. You are the pedestrian you used to be. That's what you deal with in traffic now. You get those pedestrians now.
No, it was a...
You almost killed another person.
No, first of all,
by you being on the street and they got an accident, they could have flown.
This guy had bald tires. He wasn't paying attention to where he was going. He had plenty of time to stop. He slid and hit me. He had no car insurance.
Holy crap! In your diaper?
This dude was a bum.
Emily, you were a courageous little kid. As a baby, I unlocked the door while my dad was supposed to be watching me. I went to look for my mom and crossed a very dangerous highway without getting hit. Good. And a nun found me in your diaper at the park.
Serious story.
Serious. In the rain, no less. Man.
It's kind of a story I wish you shared with us while you were on Emily's Corner. It's got follow-up questions.
Dude.
I think I know what we're talking about next week.
I think you should have been telling your dad after that. He goes and works and your mom stays home. Apparently you had a choice.
Wrapping up the show for this week, we want to thank Emily for great Emily's Corner. Next week will be all about the event. We may or may not have a Yanni guest with us next week, but it'll all be event details. Andrea, any last words this week?
Thanks for joining us.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks.
Good job getting in under an hour.
I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Myself
all right then.